So the museum has this lovely depiction on a rock outside, and then we'll pan into their information. Flying mammals lived 52 million years ago, flying among the trees, searching for insects with some of the earliest known bats. Many bats feed on insects. Others feed on nectar, pollen and fruits, helping with pollination and seed dispersal. A few feed on small mammals, birds and fish. Bats are the only mammals to have evolved powered flight, and today they make up 1/5 of the mammal species. So what is the evolutionary lineage for bats? Let's see what Dr. Carl Werner has to say.
These are fossil bats. Debbie is my photographer, my wife Debbie, and she took all these pictures of these fossil bats all around the world. And these fossil bats are beautiful. There's 1,000 of them, and you could see their wing membranes. You could see what they ate for lunch. You could see their ears. You could see the soft tissues. You can see the ear bones. It's incredible. These aren't just little fragments. They have just perfectly preserved bats. Now, evolutionists believe a bat, which is a mammal, flying mammal, came from a ground mammal, maybe like a shrew or something like that. But according to evolution scientists, these experts on bats, there is no animals between this tree shrew changing into a bat. We have fossil tree shrews, we have 1,000 fossil bats, but we don't have an animal halfway evolved like the tree shrew with longer arms. You know, the bats, they have really long arms to make the wings. And we don't have animal G, like he has really long arms now, but he has no wing membrane. And we don't have animal B where his tail's starting to get shorter, things like that. We have only this, and that speaks that the tree shrew did not evolve into a bat. The fossil record's too pure. I'm going to show you a clip from our series. Let's see if you can hear this.
Bats are warm-blooded flying mammals. Some bats use sonar-like echolocation to catch their prey. An amazing 1,000 fossil bats have been collected so far. Many of these are complete bats. Some show breathtaking minute detail, such as wing membranes, fur, and even stomach contents. Despite this rich fossil record, Darwin's predicted intermediates have not been found. There are no fossils showing a ground mammal similar to a mouse slowly changing into a flying mammal, a bat.
You would guess that there'd be some sort of a bat precursor, but once again, nothing. Bingo, they just show up. And so, as you might guess, that there are certain people that think they were specially created. They actually are kind of a problem with the creationists who like to, if things were created, here's a very highly complex mammal with all these adaptations, and bingo, they just show up at some particular moment in time fully formed as a bat. Obviously, we evolutionary biologists and paleontologists don't believe that, but at this point we don't have a good fossil ancestor for them.
When did bats evolve from the land mammals? When is it theorized?
That must have happened also in the lowest tertiary, but we have no evidence for this evolution. Also, the bats appear perfectly developed.
We don't have any non-flying bats, and so we can't pull something out of that, any kind of information out of that that tells us how they might have evolved.
What period of time did the bats evolve, do we think?
We have no fossil records of bats during the Cretaceous period, and this means that we are only depending on speculation when it started and what happened in that time. Of course, when we have the oldest bats like Icaronicteris, they were completely developed in their morphology and their flight apparatus, and also the messel bats were completely developed. So we can only speculate.
Opponents of evolution have seized on this lack of evolutionary intermediates in the fossil record. They ask, how many more bats would have to be collected before one declares the absence of ancestors a reality? For them, the fossil evidence of bats clearly speaks against evolution.